If you're anything like me, you probably left E3 thinking a couple things. To start with, you probably thought, wait, exactly how many games did we just see and when do they come out? And secondly, you probably thought, even when they come out, how the heck am I going to afford all of these games that I want now? So what I've decided to do for you and for myself is list all of the biggest games we saw at E3 in order of when they're gonna come out. I'm gonna let you know the dates, the months, the years of when these things come out, and then kind of roughly the price. And you don't have to thank me. If you really want to do something, you can like the video and subscribe and leave a comment thanking me, but let's get started. Luckily for you fellow Switch fans, the first game we're being treated to on July 13th is Octopath Traveler. It's a game done in the style of old school RPG games where you can play as 8 different characters and each one interacts with the world in different ways, and you can buy that on your Switch in July. Next, for all you sporting fans, you get to play Madden 19 on August 10th. And you sports fans also get NBA Live 19 on September 7th, but if you're thinking, oh damn, 2 sports games back to back, well I got you covered, because also on September 7th, at the same time as NBA, we get Spider-Man on PlayStation 4. If you played Spider-Man 2 back in the day on PlayStation 2 or GameCube and you thought that was the last good Spider-Man game, you're about to be wrong, because this game is going to blow that one out of the water. Also, we're getting Dragon Quest XI on September 4th. Then on September 14th, we're getting the new Tomb Raider game, Shadow of the Tomb Raider. If you enjoyed the previous games, this one looks like yet another amazing Tomb Raider game for the series, and something they've really worked on for this one is the combat and how many different options you have to you as far as stealth. They showcased a lot of new gameplay features, so if you played the other games, this one will feel a little different, which is great. Then October 28th, we get FIFA 19. Then on October 2nd, you're getting your only first-party exclusive Xbox One game for the year, and that's Forza Horizon 4. The new Super Mario Party game that Nintendo announced for Switch launches October 5 days before my birthday, so you know I'll be having my birthday party playing Mario Party. This Mario Party goes back to the old school way of Mario Party, so if you weren't a fan of 9 and 10 and being stuck in a one car with everyone, you do individually move around the board game in this one, so yes, amazing. And then the same day as Super Mario Party, we're getting Assassin's Creed Odyssey. Don't get Mario Party and Odyssey and Mario Odyssey all confused on the same day, but I'm going to be getting both of those games, and I look forward to both of them. For you Call of Duty fans, Black Ops 4 releases on October 12th. Starlink Battle for Atlantis launches October 12th. It's a multi-platform game, but if you're a Switch player and you buy this game on your Nintendo Switch, you get to play the game as Star Fox in his ship, which is really exciting, and you can thank the friendship between Ubisoft and Nintendo for that. And then October 19, only a week after Call of Duty, Battlefield 5 releases. So depending on what side of the fence you fall on, the Call of Duty or Battlefield side, both of those come out within a week. I'm not sure whether it's a good idea to go first or to go second when it comes to releasing your game around the same time, but for me, I'll be playing Battlefield. The game that pretty much every gamer in the world is looking forward to, Red Dead Redemption 2, releases October 26. Strangely, we saw nothing of this game during Microsoft or PlayStation 4's event, but we've already had a couple trailers for it, and we all know it's going to be awesome. Fallout 76 launches November 14th. For those that didn't hear the news, it's going to be an only online game. I know in my video I said there was an offline mode, but it is always online. You can just choose to play by yourself, but it will be an online game where you can play with a bunch of friends and then have other people in the world as well. I'm guessing kind of like a Division scenario, but with Fallout. 2 days later, November 16th is a huge day because we get Pokemon Let's Go Eevee and Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu. I can tell you out of those, I'll be picking up Let's Go Eevee, and I am excited to play this game for sure. And in the last month of this year, we get Just Cause 4 on December 4th, and the new Super Smash Bros. On December 7th. So that's everything we're getting in 2018. Now we'll move on to 2019, but tell me that the next 6 months aren't going to be crazy. All of those games, I do this for a living. I play games for a living at this point, and even I'm looking at this like there's not enough time. I remember back even 10 years ago when me and my friends were playing games, we would buy the hot new game and then have to wait months for the next one to come out. It felt like there was never enough games. Nowadays, it seems like there's way too much. I'm definitely not complaining having it this way, but it sucks to see games come out and have to be like I just can't. The Resident Evil 2 remake we just found out about on January 25th. Kingdom Hearts in January. Finally getting another Xbox One exclusive, Crackdown 3 in February. Trials Rising, a game published by Ubisoft, which is coming to all systems, including Switch. I like to point out when one's going to be on Switch. That game launches in February. Also in February, we have Destiny 3. Sorry, Anthem. We have Anthem. Don't hate me for that joke. It does look very similar. Nothing has made me want to play it so far, but I'm willing to give it a shot. Metro Exodus launches the same day as Anthem on the 22nd of February. Apparently, the 22nd is going to be a big day because we're also getting Days Gone. I am really excited for this one. So many zombies, so little time. And then a new Division launches in March on the 15th. And that's everything for next year that we have solid release dates for. There is a ton more games I'm about to say, but they're all to be affirmed. They are just going to be next year unless they get pushed back, but right now it's next year. Starting with Wolfenstein Youngblood, whole new story with all new characters and you can play in co-op, definitely leads to a whole new experience. A new Ori game coming next year, as well as Skull and Bones, which still doesn't have a release date, sadly, but will be next year. I'm really excited for this one, as I'm sure a lot of you know, I love me some pirates. Not the new Gears of War 5, but Gears Tactics is confirmed for next year. Looks kind of like XCOM or Mario and Rabbids, but in a Gears of War skin. Sekiro Shadows Die Twice, I'm pronouncing that wrong. Made by From Software, the same development company that made Dark Souls. Very similar looking game in the way it plays, but a little bit faster paced from what I can tell. A sequel to Dying Light, Dying Light 2. Jump Force, a game that looks very similar to the J-Stars Battle, whatever that game was called, which pits all of the Shonen Jump characters into one big game where you can battle it out. Personally, I'm hoping to see characters from Hunter x Hunter. If you give me the main cast, let me play as Hisoka, I will be really happy with that. And Jedi Fallen Order, probably one of the weirdest announcements from the entire weekend, and it was just given to us by some dude sat in the audience. I know he probably wasn't some dude, but that's just how it kind of came across. They just talked to him for like 10 seconds and got some information from him. We didn't see anything, we just got told the title. Devil May Cry 5, really excited for this one. I hope this is earlier rather than later because I am dying. I'm dying to play this game. Gears 5 is coming next year, at least that's what they're saying right now. We saw a little bit of gameplay at E3. It follows Kate as the main character. You get to explore more about her character and where her character is going, and if you've been following the franchise for a while, you'll probably know where it's going, and it's a really interesting twist in the series. A follow-up to Doom, Doom Eternal, which all we've seen is a cinematic trailer and no gameplay, but if the cinematic trailer tells us anything about the scale of the game, it seems to be pretty epic in proportion. And another Bethesda shooter game, Rage 2, is going to release sometime in 2019. We don't have a date on that one yet, but I'm ready for this high-octane action game. Fire Emblem Three Houses, a Nintendo Switch game that I'm really looking forward to next year, a completely reimagined Fire Emblem by the looks of things. And the game that kickstarted Nintendo's E3 event, Daemon Machina, a game that has you flying around in a mech and slashing things and exploding things, and it does look pretty fun. So that's your year next year, that we know of right now, not to mention all the other games that will be announced during next year, and of course at E3 next year, which will give us more games for later next year. That's a lot of games. Let's keep going. I want over half of these, by the way. And then the following games are to be affirmed. They could be later this year, very doubtful. They could be next year, or they could be 2020, or they could be forever in the future. Who knows? But these games, they haven't even been hinted at for any release year yet. And those games are, starting with Cyberpunk, personally my biggest game of the weekend. I've been waiting to see more of that for 6 years, and we finally did. They had a sit-down interview with one of the creators of the game, which was about 20 minutes long, which told us a bunch more about the game, like it's going to be first person. I naturally assumed it was going to be third person, like the Witcher games, since it is made like the Witcher games. I'm not sure how I feel about that. I kind of wanted it to be third person so I could get all these crazy futuristic outfits and attachments and weird things going on, and I could see my character. But I very, very much trust CD Projekt Red to make an amazing game out of this, so if they think first person's the way to go, I'm down to party. Beyond Good and Evil 2 has no launch window as of yet. In fact, all we saw was pre-alpha footage, I think they called it. Both Halo Infinite and The Elder Scrolls 6, we saw very small snippets of a cinematic trailer that ended on a logo. Definitely looking at over a year for both of these games. Same with Bethesda's new IP, Starfield. You're probably looking at late 2019 for that one. Control. Remedy used to make Xbox One exclusives. Now they're saying, hey, we're multi-platform. Coming out at PlayStation 4's event and showing us their new game Control, which looks a lot like Quantum Break in my opinion, but that has no release date as of yet. Last of Us Part 2, the one that I would really love to know about. but we don't. Both Ghost of Setsumi, sorry if I'm pronouncing that wrong, I'm really bad at pronouncing names, and Death Stranding are games that we right now have no idea when they're coming out. We only really just saw some gameplay for both of them. They both look very polished right now, so hopefully we'll see them middle to late of next year. So that right there is about 50 games. I didn't count them all, but most of those come out in the next year and a bit. For about the first half of those games, I had them all in order for you guys, and then it was games that are coming out at some point, but it was everything that was announced at E3. So hopefully this video helped a bunch of you. If you didn't watch E3 and you just heard all those announcements for the first time, those were the biggest ones. If you watched it and you were kind of wondering when these games were actually coming out, that's when these games are coming out. I hope this list helped you in some way, even if it was just planning out the next 6 months and where you're going to spend the money and what games you think you might buy right off the bat and what games you might wait for. I would love to know what you think of this list, what games you're most excited for, what you think about the sheer amount of them, or maybe you literally like the look of none of them and this was the worst E3 for you. Let me know all of those down below. Remember to like this video if you enjoyed it, subscribe, get excited guys. For me, the next big one is going to be Spider-Man and then Red Dead Redemption 2. Those are my mains for later this year, and again, I'd love to know yours down below. I'm out. I'm done. I'm seeing you later. I'm catching you on the flip side.